Welcome to selfdiscoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life, right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy. Self-leadership. What does that mean? Well, we all look for a leader in life, someone to lead us down the path of self-discovery, lead us down the path of abilities, lead us in a way that we feel we can't lead ourselves. But ultimately, no matter who's leading you, either in work or relationships or anything else, we are the leaders in our own life. We need to step into self-leadership. Well, what does that mean? That means stepping into the empowerment of self, knowing what you need, what path you need to take, be aware, caring about yourself and the environment that you're in, caring about what you're putting out, what you're receiving. Is your arena that you're in being one that is bringing something out in you that you don't feel comfortable with? Are you amongst people that claim to be leaders but are leading you astray? Are you amongst people that are negative or angry or bitter or vengeful or jealous or retaliatory? Because any of those kind of arenas is not going to serve you. So how do you step into your own leadership? I will choose the path that I take. I will choose the people that are around me. I will choose how I interact and how I receive and perceive information. How are you going to do that? Well, that kind of leadership comes from, as I said, being aware of what's around you, what life in itself has made you feel. We're in an era where we're feeling a lot right now. The world politics, the world war, the world discord, the world famine, the world this, the world that, it can be overwhelming and we can feel powerless. And we feel that we don't have a voice anymore in our own lives or in community. That isn't so. You very much have a voice in your own life. And in fact, the empowerment of your voice in your life will empower your community. And an empowered community empowers the ripple effect that goes out. But it comes from your inner strength, your ability to lead yourself down your path of choice. Now, we can't always choose what happens to us, but we can choose what we do with it. We can choose that we're going to feed this or not feed this. We can choose that we're going to allow it to dictate our choices or help us discover a different choice, a different route to take. That kind of self-leadership is one that puts you in charge no matter what is happening around you. It becomes a choice that you make based on where you're at right now, with a desire of where you would like to be, but a trusting of your inner core as your compass, your moral compass, your values compass, your compass of your integrity, your compass of your heart, your soul, your spirit. And when you align with that and you allow that to be a part of your leadership, then you will find a road and a path that will lead you forward in meaningful purpose. It isn't about the leadership of who has the most sales or who has the most people or who is, number one this week. It is about the leadership of you as a whole. What do you stand for? What do you speak for? What do you represent? Are you being honest and true to the very core of who you are? Now, I know this all sounds like words, and you think, well, how do I get there? The first leap is the first step. That willing to go, I am willing to step into self-discovery. I am willing to discover what lies within me, what I really am. Now, I'm a huge advocate for your human design, your true colors, your 7 words, anything that helps us identify our human personality traits and also our soul's purpose. When we understand that, we understand these are our strengths. So these are the strengths that we were given as a gift to use for what? But we very much play on these are our weaknesses, and we get stuck in it, and we're trying to make our weaknesses better instead of strengthening our strengths, which will in turn strengthen your weaknesses. Don't harp on what you can't do. Look at what you can. And when you get that flutter of heart and that excitement in voice and that whole body wanting to move forward, then you know you're on the right path. Follow it. See where it leads you. What doors is it opening? Make sure you have no blinkers on, that your eyes are scanning everywhere and you're feeling everything. Absorb it. What does this feeling ignite you to do? Are you suddenly discovering an ability that you have or a passion that you have that you didn't know? You see, that comes when you're willing to take that journey of life, that journey of self-discovery. That kind of self-leadership is the one that will lead you down the path of your essence. We are all here by design. We are all here given a beautiful gift to share. And I always say, whether it's the janitor, the CEO, everything has a purpose, everything has its importance. It's for us to discover what is that. Now, sometimes we have to take many paths in life, try many things before we find something that solidifies and it feels right, and everything about it feels right, and you feel you can move forward with it. Now you've stepped into your self-leadership. Now you've stepped into your meaningful purpose. Now you're truly listening to the path that lays before you, that is there for you to share that beautiful gift that you are. When you feel it, chest, stomach, breath, body, everything feels right and in alignment, that is the time to really put the foot to the pedal. And I don't mean getting up into 5th gear. I mean going through all of the gears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, getting in the gears, but moving forward, but paying attention along the way. If you go up to that 5th gear too quickly, you're going to miss the stages that each one of them has its importance. It's handing you a skill or a tool or a knowingness that you need for the next gear and the next gear. So we get enthusiastic about something. Oh, I've discovered something I can do. I love doing this. Why haven't I been doing this all along? I'm going to do it now. I'm going to pile everything on and put my foot on the pedal and off I go. But no. Yes, you're on the right track, but you're not familiar with your vehicle yet. You need to understand how it works. You need to understand how it's speaking to you. You need to understand the signs, the little innuendos along the way, because the more you immerse yourself in knowing your own vehicle, your own self, the more you become aware of really what this gift is and how to use it and to whom to use it for. So don't be in a rush. I know the excitement is there and you really want to get out of the gate, but don't be in a rush. Be methodical in the way that you move forward. Now, I don't want you to be overcautious. Trust those instincts. Trust that inner voice. Trust that gut, right? It's speaking to you all the time. Listen to it. And there'll be times where it says, you know what, you can go to 3rd gear today, but duck down to 1st, because tomorrow I'm taking you down a different road. And it's all part of that self-discovery. And I don't want you rushing into too high a gear yet, because there's something I want you to see. Pay attention to your inner voice and what it needs to show you, how it needs to guide you. And then you will find that path and that self-leadership. See, the leadership doesn't come from the head. I don't care how many degrees you have or how long you've worked in corporate. All of that is wonderful experience and great knowledge. But till you understand the wisdom on how to use that knowledge, all it is knowledge. It's the wisdom that comes from that soul, that divine, that essence out there that you bring in that resonates with your heart. Oh, your heart feels it, feels full and abundant with it. And it gives it your spirit and action to put into gear. And your mind has the clarity of which information is relevant in this moment. Now you have wisdom. And as you travel down that road and you become more and more comfortable with the gears, more and more comfortable with the vehicle you are in, more and more in tune with yourself and its surroundings, the more you can go up into a higher gear. But at the same time, we don't want you traveling in fourth and fifth gear all the way through, because sometimes you're meant to just cruise along in a low gear and pay attention to what's around you, because now you have this gift. You are this self-leader who's here on a mission, on a purpose, a calling. And if you're zooming off, how are you going to know whom to serve? So, yes, you can get into fifth gear, but maybe you need to be cruising down this particular road in a lower gear to actually pay attention to the people who need you, the people who are looking for your service. And you can put yourself out there. I am this, I am that. Coach this, coach that. That is kind of the program that you use in order to help people. Yes, and that helps bring people in and ask the questions. But ultimately, it's going to be you that they buy before they buy from you. Do they feel you are authentic in your own leadership? Do they feel, excuse me, that you take the Kool-Aid yourself? Do they feel that you really do stand strong and tall and firm in your conviction of this? That it's not just another how-to, but it is a becoming to. That when people see you and they see how it's worked for you and that you use it, then it's like, I want to feel like that. I want to feel that confident. I want to feel that engaged with self. I want to feel that visionary. I want to feel that sensory of understanding. I want to be a leader in my own life. And now you're more ready to work with that person because you're feeling them. The program is just something you use to take them there because the program is something that's worked for you. And now you want to share it with others. Maybe you've devised the program yourself. Maybe it was a program that you were given that ignited you, and now you want to be a part of it. It's still all about that self-leadership. It's all about that. I am in charge of my life to a point. Always when we say that, God laughs because, the gods are in charge of us, but we are in charge of what we do with it. We are in charge of our choices. We are in charge of our interactions. We are in charge of how we share ourselves. That is all very, very true. So, becoming your own leader. Yes, there'll be other leaders out there in different platforms that you will follow that inspire you. But in your own life, in your own decision-making, in your own journey, in your own self-discovery, I want you to become the leader of your own life. I don't want you to be a sheeple. A sheeple is somebody that bars along, abstaining from any choice of self. And then when things don't go right, blame everyone else. That's not what it's about, folks. What it's about is stepping into self, being who you are. Now, hey, I know there are past traumas. I know there's past programming, past patterns, DNA patterns that have been around for eons, and they're hard to break sometimes. And I know it takes work in order to do it. Been there, done that. I'm not asking you to do something I haven't done myself. But it's looking at each one of those patterns and first recognizing there's a pattern or a program that's running and go, is it my programming? Is it my pattern? Is this an ancestral thing, a DNA thing? And if so, how can I break it? Or if I can't break it, how do I reverberate it? How do I change it around that it serves me and doesn't destroy me? And when we look at a program that we've been running on unaware, because most of us are unaware of the societal program that we're running on, and we look at it and go, but how can this serve me? It leaves me always back in a circle to self-doubt, to self-hate, to feeling lost, for not feeling belonged, not feeling worthy enough, because that's the pattern, that's the program. Because society puts that on us. Unless you're A, B, C, D, you don't count. Well, I promise you, you count. X, Y, Z, you count. Everybody counts. We've just got to step into our accountability. We've got to step in to the essence of who we are. We've got to step in to your own beautiful gift, your own meaningful purpose, your own abilities. Do not compare and do not compete. Those two C's do not belong. Competition is for a competition. It is not to compete with someone else in life. Do not compare. You are unique. Now, you can be inspired by someone. Somebody's made this journey before you, and they've inspired you to want to take it yourself, even maybe use the same program. But you using the program to them using the program, it will be different because you're different. It's like putting on a color, and some people can wear the color and it enhances them, and some people, the color is wearing them. It's knowing what fits and what doesn't fit. There is no one size fits all. One color suits everyone. We are all unique, but we have commonalities. And all of these wonderful programs that are out there that can help you deprogram past programs, the commonalities, they're the common denominator for you to take the journey of self-discovery. But it doesn't mean it's going to have exactly the same effect as it did on Joe, as it does on George, right? Because we are unique. It's going to hit us where it needs to hit us. It's going to release us where we need to be released, and we're going to become who we need to become because of it. So, well, this worked on so-and-so in this way. Why is it not working on me? Because you are not so-and-so. You are you. This is that stepping into your own leadership. What kind of leader are you in your own life? What kind of decision maker are you in your own life? Do you make choices based on what everybody else is doing? Do you make choices based on what's popular or what's expected of you? Or do you make choices from the gut, the heart, the soul, that inner core? It feels right. I identify with this. This is where I feel I need to go. So we don't talk enough about that feeling. A lot of people think it's wokeism and woo-wooism, two words I want to throw right out. They're for the people who aren't willing to experience it, and so therefore use the words and throw them around without actually understanding any meaning of them. To be woke is to be awoken to the possibilities and what lies within you. Do you honestly feel that all you are is this human blob of flesh with the mechanics to be able to move, talk, learn a certain thing and go and do? You're not a robot. You're not a humanoid. You're a human being. And it's the being I want you to ignite. That being of your consciousness, that being of your heart, soul, and spirit that speaks to you, that has an energy, that has an identity, that is here for you. I want you to listen to that, because that in tandem with your human spirit will dance beautifully. And now you will step in to your own vehicle and gosh, and go, oh, I've got the wheel. I can decide where I need to go, where I want to go. I understand what this vehicle is about. I understand the gift that I was given. I understand the road that is before me. I understand whom it is I need to serve. But that's all a journey to get there. I only discovered this purpose of podcasting at the age of 57. I'm 70 and a half now. I've been doing it 13 years. And I realized that every single thing I'd done beforehand led me up to being able to do this. When I first started podcasting, I didn't even know what a podcast was when I was asked to join another network. But I said yes, because I was willing to try a new experience. Didn't know if I could do it. And the first one was a catastrophic, pressed all the wrong buttons. And I was with another company for 13 months and it was live and people would drop and people would not turn up and all sorts of things happened. And you learn to go with the flow and deal in the now. So it's never too late and you're never too old to take the wheel of your own life. You may have been driving around for so long with a dialogue in your head, telling you this, telling you that, dictating how you should feel, how worthy you should feel. And it's now time for you to say to them, in the back seat, please. You're no longer driving this vehicle. If you've got something to say that's productive, I will listen. If you've got something to say that I really need to hear, I will listen. But you're not going to take the driver's seat and drive me into oblivion because I don't feel worthy of the journey. You're not going to make choices for me based on my past or based on my fears or based on my trauma because you want to keep me safe. No, I'm going to take the wheel in confidence and in attunement, in enlightenment, and with a focus on where I'm going. All of these things that have been driving you for so long, we need to look at them and say, thank you for your service. The trunk or the back seat, you're no longer in the driver's seat. Take your own reins, take your own wheel, make your own choices, not the choices of expectation, not the choices of dictation. You must, you have to, everybody expects this of you. Throw that out. The choice is based on how the gut, the heart, and the spirit feels. This feels right. And you may not even know what it is, but go with that feeling. Travel that feeling. Go with it and see where it takes you. That's the exploration of life. That's the wonderment. That's the curiosity, the inquiry. Because if we're not willing to do that, we're not willing to grow. If we're not willing to explore, we're not willing to know what really it is we're here for. If we're not curious, how do we learn? If we're not inquisitive, how do we understand? All of these things are of the human spirit, is to explore the possibilities, the whys, the whats, the hows, the whens, the wheres. And when you're willing to take that driver's seat and you're willing to take that leadership of self and go down that path, it's truly wonderful. And it's so incredibly peaceful and energetic at the same time. It's not that hysteria energy. It's not that need energy for the moment. It is a beautiful, peaceful wave that travels with you because you know that what you're doing is important. You know what you're doing is what you were put here for. You know what you're doing is serving others because that's what we're here to do. And you know that it's your choice to do so. You're in the driver's seat. You are the leader in your own life. And when you become that leader and you're driving down that road, serving the people along the way, you are inspiring and illuminating other lives. And that ripple effect goes out. as you awaken other people to the essence of who they are, through whatever medium you are doing, the more they become of the higher conscious, the more they become the drivers of their own car, the less they become the sheeple, and the more they become individually empowered, and the more they then seek the orchestra, the choir. They come to that choir, they come to that orchestra with a strong voice and a strong instrument, and they respect all the other performers there. And they agree to harmoniously play together, each in their own strengths, something that will transcend that harmony into the ether for all to feel. But that orchestra and that choir would be nothing without each individual who is a leader in their own life. They have to be strong in their own leadership to know how to bend, how to go with the flow, when to come out as the solo, when to go into the background, how to support each other around, how to lift each other up, how to calm each other down. That's what it's about. That's what self-leadership is about. So, are you going to become a self-leader? Are you going to become someone that says, I accept the gift that I was given. I'm in discovery of the gifts that I'm given. I am looking to understand whom they are for. But I am at peace with myself. For many, meditation is something that helps them center their core. Find that peace, that alignment, the chakra alignment, where everything about you feels in sync and in alignment in your breath, in your being, in your vision, in your thoughts. And from that space, you move out and put yourself in gear. Things get frazzled around you. You have to become the mountain in the chaos. You have to find the stillness in the chaos and not get swept up with it. There's no clarity in the turmoil. The clarity is in the center, in the calm. And I know, hey, I know how to react out there. But I have to pace myself and go, there is a time for advocacy and raising up and raising your voice, not in a shout, but in an octave that needs to be heard. When we come together in unison to fight injustice, to fight cruelty, to fight tyranny, we need to come together with those voices then. That kind of choir isn't one that always just needs the tranquil harmony. Sometimes it needs a crescendo, united voice, not in hate, but in accountability and injustice. You are standing up together for the people that are being oppressed. And that kind of choir most certainly has its voice. And I'm very much a part of that voice myself. But I also understand the quiet harmony that stills the beating heart, that calms the raw nerves, that allows the breath to be fluent and allows the thoughts to flow, the feeling thoughts. And in there, find that clarity. So everything has its place. The fifth gear has its place. But unless you really understand your first, second, and fourth, third and fourth gear, your fifth gear can spiral you out. So be willing to go through the process. Be willing to go through the acknowledgement of each step, of each gear. You are in the driver's seat. This is your vehicle. Where do you want to take it? Sometimes you need to slow down to pay attention what's around you. Sometimes you can cruise along at a nice speed, and sometimes you need to get into that fifth gear in order to stand up and speak out against something. But you are still in the driver's seat. You are still the leader in your own life. Be the leader in your own life. Your choices are your own. Your choices are your own. Your actions are your own. Your thoughts and your feelings are your own. What are you going to do with them? How are you going to use them? And are you going to take the hand of the wheel and choose which path you wish to go? Everything is a process, one step at a time. Choosing to look at trauma, turmoil, and go, yes, you hurt me. You were cruel and evil to me, but I no longer give you power. In fact, I gained strength from it, knowing that I can walk away from you, trauma. I can walk away from you, fear. I can walk away from pain. I can choose to take a different path. And you may travel with me for a while, but you're in the back seat or you're in the trunk. You're no longer in the driver's seat because I choose as a self-leader to steer myself down the path I choose to go in and not what my trauma, my fear, my anxiety dictates. It's had its voice. It no longer does. And I know that takes strength. I know that takes courage. And I know that sometimes it feels impossible that you can do that, but I promise you, you can. You can. When I let go of the things that were stuck to me, the suction cups, and when I let go of them, it doesn't mean I don't see them anymore, or that I maybe am not saddened by them. Or now and again, they kind of raise up. And it's like, oh, if I'm feeling like this, what's in my arena that's making me feel like this, that's representing what happened to me before? Is pay attention to that because it's asking you to go in a different direction. It doesn't mean the trauma's back. But I look back and I think this is a really good way of doing it. Your year mark, your 5-year mark, your 10-year mark, your 20-year mark. Look back. On a day that you feel stuck and you're not sure which road to take, pause, look back. See how far you have come. Driving your own vehicle. See how far you have come. Yes, you're at a crossroads right now. You're not quite sure which way to go. That's okay. Pause for a moment. Pull over. Have a cup of coffee. Stretch your legs. Take some deep breaths. Feel the way. Feel the way. When you get back in your vehicle, go slowly and pay attention to your surroundings. Nobody says you have to be at a destination by a certain time. Life is a journey. Be willing to take it. Be willing to explore. Be willing to be wondrous. Be willing to be curious. Be willing to be inquisitive. Be willing to learn all the time, and be willing to step into your meaningful purpose and your gift that is here to serve others. But be the leader in your own life. Take the steering wheel and ask trauma, fear, anxiety, all of those doubts. I'm not enough. Nobody likes me. I'll never amount to anything. Backseat, trunk. Don't let them drive. Right? No trauma and drive. Take the wheel. Take it in confidence. Even if you don't know 100% who you are. And we never do. I'm always in discovery who I am and what else I can do. Always learning, always evolving. I'm not satisfied. I'm very satisfied with who I am today. But I'm still wondrous. I'm still wondrous about life and the universe and people and where are we going and all the challenges that face us and how do we rise above them? How do we break through them? How do we change the course of history? Be willing to take the journey and travel in all of those gears. But please, put your hand on the steering wheel. This is your vehicle. Be the leader in your own life and drive yourself where you want to be. One step at a time, one gear at a time, one breath at a time. You may take a course with this person and it works on that level. You may take another course with that person, it works on that level. You may read, I've got all those books behind that you can see that I've been a part of, that I've written myself or produced. Or you may listen to podcasts or TED Talks or be a part of events where they have wonderful speakers. Immerse yourself in the willingness to open up and learn. No dictation of how you wish to learn, just the willingness to learn and see where it takes you. Because I promise you, if you're willing to take the journey of life, put yourself in gear, one gear at a time, and cruise down that road, you're going to find something quite exciting. And that most exciting thing in life is the discovery of self. So folks, until next time, I wish you all well. Self-leadership, self-love, because that is in that leadership. That is that love that you need to seek. Not love and approval for everyone else, that love and approval of self. Self. Love thyself to know how to love others, how to share that love. I wish it all for you, but just be willing to take that first leap, which is that first step, getting into the driver's seat. Until next time, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tag at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.